Hello everyone. In this session we will look into how to create dynamic drop-down list in PHP using AJAX query. Now to create a dynamic drop-down list, I have taken an example of pin code. So I have created one table of pin codes. Let me show the table. Yeah, it's already running over here. It consists of 5 fields, namely state, district, taluka, office and its respective pin code. So what we will do, we will create one page. That page will initially have only one what we say option that's related to your state. We have to select a particular state. Okay, now once we select a particular state from this list, another list will be generated, or another drop down list will be generated. This drop down list will be filled with whatever the districts available in that particular state. So if we change that particular state, correspondingly districts will change. And then if we check a particular or select a particular district, then what will happen, another drop down list will be created, and this drop down list will have the list of all talukas, those are coming under this district. And once we have all this one option selected from state, district and taluka, then we'll display the list of offices and their respective pin codes. Alright, so let's start with this. I repeat, initially we'll have only a single drop down list on the page. That drop down list will have only the name of states. We'll select a particular state, then second drop down list will be generated. Initially it won't be there on the page, so it will be generated once we select the state for the first time. Same will happen for the third one, that is the third drop down list, that this one. Initially it won't be there on the page. This list will appear, or this list will be created, or drop down list will be created when we select the district for the first time. Okay, so let's start with the coding. Now the editor which I am using is Atom editor. So there are a number of editors you can use as per your wish, and I use the same parent folder, that is PHP Tute. So let me add the page first. So let me consider name of my PHP will be let me see, I use same dynamic drop down dot php. It's a quite big name, you shouldn't have such big names, but still dynamic drop down dot php. So I'm saving this in my parent folder. Parent folder is PHP Tute. Okay, it's visible now. Let's first check whether your localhost is visible, and at the same time this pair file named dynamic dropdown is getting visible. So first check your localhost, is it working? Yes, it's working. Now we'll go to that folder, it's PHP Tute, and within that the file name what we have added is dynamic dropdown.php. Yes, it's visible. It's D coming because by mistakenly while typing there was D written over there. Okay, chalo theek hai. Now thing is my file is getting executed. So now let's start by adding the components. First we will add only one component that is related to the state. So going with the code again, let's have the HTML component, and over here we'll use table. Okay, so let's consider table trtd, one more. So component we are going to add only one, that is for the state. So let me say over here select state. Okay, so and let us add the combo button over here. Select, so let's consider I'm giving the name to this as name itself is state, id state, name state, and let's add the options. So initially we'll have something like select state. So let's save this and refresh the page if it's working properly. Yes. Now to this, what I need to do, I need to make a connection between this PHP page and MySQL, and then I will use this query. Query is, I will select distinct state from pin codes. So these pin codes will be fetched, not distinct states. Okay, so these state names will be fetched and it will be added to this drop down list. So going with the connections, first get the connection done. So we'll use here only. Now for connection we'll use a MySQL connect. So let's consider con is the connector. So con MySQL underscore connect MySQL underscore connect, and to this we'll pass the parameters. Parameters will be first localhost, followed by your username and password. So for this dummy I'm keeping this as my password, and followed by the name of your database. It should be in the proper way, the way we are written. So my database name is PHP Tut, so I keep the same PHP Tut. Alright, so the connection is done. Now I need to have one SQL query. SQL query is same, select distinct state from pin codes, and let's consider one more, order by a state only, so I get everything in alphabetical order. Alright, and now let's fetch the result, execute this query. Now this query will get executed by using something result. We execute by using MySQL underscore query. To this we'll pass the connection and then the SQL string. So with this, if these parameters are proper, the connection will be properly established, and your rows, whatever you're selecting, it will be stored in this result. Now what we'll do, we will add these components to this select option. We'll add the PHP tag here only. So let's consider this one, PHP echo. We are going to add it through option. What we'll do, we'll use single quotes, option, then we need to give some value to that. So value equal to, that value will be nothing but whatever we are gonna to fetch. So for that purpose, as we'll fetch this result set row by row by using MySQL fetch array command. So while let's consider we are going row by row, while row equal to MySQL underscore fetch array, and to this we pass this result as the parameter. So we are fetching result by result, row by row, and then we'll put this statement in this echo. What we want to have, we want to add the option over there to this select. So option value equal to dollar rows, and name of my field is, let me check its state. Okay, no, I need to use double quotes because along with echo I'm using single quote. State. Okay, then let me close it. And also I want to display this outside also. So again I just copy this. Now this query is little bit complex, not complex I will say, but a sort of confusing type. So you are adding all HTML tags using echo, so you need to take care of that single quotes and double quotes. Sometimes it happens we missed with single quotes and double quotes and it gives an error there. Alright, so let's check with this. So once this is done, then we can move ahead. So let me save it. Yeah, and let me refresh the page if it's working. Yes, it does. Now what we want, as I said previously, we'll select now a particular state. Now let's consider I'm selecting Andhra Pradesh. So what will happen after I select Andhra Pradesh, another drop down list should get visible over here. Alright, and that list should consist of the list of states, or that drop down list should consist of all states, that those will be coming under the state Andhra Pradesh. Okay, similarly if I select Maharashtra, then this list there should be another drop down list. That drop down list should have only the list of districts from Maharashtra. So what we'll do, we'll use the AJAX query for that. Now first let's design and then we'll come to that query part. So for user friendly purpose, we'll go like this. Let's have another row, and 1, 2, that's it. Here we'll say select district, but that district will add it, not now. That will be added only after we select that particular state. Similarly, taluka, it will be added only after we select a particular district. So let me save this. Only thing is that we need to provide some IDs. So let's consider for this, I provide the ID as dist. Okay, that will do, not an issue. And for second, let me say I'm providing an ID as dal. Alright, so let us save this and refresh the page. Yes, nothing happened. We haven't added anything right now. So now comes our backend work. Backend work is nothing but now we'll use JavaScript. So let us add one more page. Okay, now before that we need to specify onchange event for this class. Onchange, so let's consider we take name of method as MyState, something like that. So this is the name of method, MyState. Let me copy it, and now let me have the JavaScript. So let me save this first. I need to save this with some particular name. So what I will do, I'll say dynamic drop .js. Now this is the name of the file. and to this I will add this function. Name of function is myState, and here we'll just say alert hello world. We're just checking whether it's working or not, but we need to bind this JavaScript file with this drop down. So for that purpose, in the header tag, add the script. Source to this is the name of file .js. So now let's cross check, refresh the page, and check. Oh no, something is missed. What happened? No, not myState. Name of this JavaScript file is dynamic drop. Dynamic drop. So let's save it. Now refresh the page. Yeah, it's coming. Hello world. It's working, so it's connected now. Now coming to this part. So let us first take the name of that file, or whatever we are selecting it. So let's consider var is variable, and let's consider name of variable as st name, indicating state name. So we'll get that content by using document dot get element by id dot value. So name of or id of this state is state itself. And instead of saying alert hello world, let's cross check whether its name is getting fetched properly. Alert st name. St name. Okay, let's save this. Cross check. Yeah, it does, and it's working. Okay. Now let's go ahead. What we want, once we select state, then another drop down list should get visible. Right now we haven't created anything, and to that drop down list we'll add all the districts those are available in particular that state. So for that purpose we'll use AJAX query. Okay, so that query goes like this. $.ajax. We require the URL, 3 components: URL, type, and data. So let's consider name of URL is another PHP file. So let's consider that search pin.php. We'll create one PHP file. Type is post, and the third parameter is the data, what we are gonna to pass. So let's consider we are gonna to pass st name. So let's consider id is st name. Alright, and finally success. What will happen if there is a success? So function, let's consider data, and to this वहाँ जो भी होगा we will add it to this thing, where to dist. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll use hash, then not it's a mistake, it's dollar, then your id is test. Okay, dot html, will have your data. Now this is a little bit tricky. Let's consider we create one file first named search bin. So let's go with that. Let me save this as search bin. Now in this search bin, I will first make the connection with the database. I just copy this code completely. No, not this one. The search bin is this file. Okay, now understand this. We will be passing the name of state as a parameter from this file. So here we'll say select distinct. Instead of saying state, we'll say distinct district from pin code, where state equal to whatever the ID we have passed through the previous method. That means if you are gonna to connect it, we'll say $k equal to $post and then ID. ID is the key which we had passed. We'll pass this in the form of a parameter. Okay, now getting back over here, then while we'll use the same concept, and the way we had fetched state, we'll go here same, while $rows equal to MySQL underscore fetch array. To this we'll pass our result, and then we'll go on adding the components. Now before that, we need to add the option button. Echo option, not option, select ID equal to, now we will give the name to this. ID equal to let's consider district, and even the name as district, and on change we will call upon the method, let's consider mydist. Name of district. Okay, we will not close this button of select. We'll close that after we add all options to this. So here we'll say echo, then select. Okay, now coming to this, we need to populate this. Here we'll say echo, it's quite complicated. I'll add this part directly. here we are adding district. Let us save, and then let's cross check with this if it's working. Right now it won't work. Reason, there is no connectivity with that file, so we need to provide the Java API, and let's consider we are using this Java API, that is Java jQuery 3.1, and let's place this in your header section of your main page after the script. Let's save it, and now let's refresh this page. Okay, so I'm selecting Andhra Pradesh. Now look over here. This is what we are meaning for that. We are not having this drop down list right now. At first we are having it only a single drop down list. That drop down list is state. Only after changing or selecting a particular state, now your drop down list is getting created and getting added to the page. Now if you change it, the contents accepted, chalega, not an issue. So you are changing Maharashtra, so now your states are Thane, Pune and Satara. Similarly, if you select Kerala, your states are Ernakulam. Okay, I have added only one, that might be a possibility. Let's cross check if there is any error. So your state is Kerala. Select district from state. Okay, let's cross check. Some spelling mistake. Okay, Kerala. Okay, there's only one district, so it's coming over there and it's working fine. So now if I go for Andhra Pradesh, so I'm having 4 to 5. Same thing will do for Taluka. Okay, now for that purpose we need to use this method. Method is what? MyDist. This method you're gonna to add in your JavaScript. So let's consider over here function. Name of the function is MyDist, and let's say let us check whether we are able to access that particular district name. So var, let me consider d name, and my name over here is district. Let me cross check. Yeah, it's district, that's proper. Okay, now let's save this and let's use alert dt name. I comment this part because every time I don't want my name of state to get displayed. So Kerala, Ernakulam, okay, no change. CK Thane, yes, it's coming, but it's not happening for the first. I'm a Chittur pe click around. If I'm clicking on Chittur, it's not working. So what I do, I make another change in this search pane. So here I add one dummy option. We won't write anything. Okay, we can write something like such as select district. Value is not there, so need not to worry. Let's refresh this page. Okay, so okay, it's working. So similarly, if I go for Maharashtra, then Thane, yeah, it's checking for the first also. Now coming back to the topic. We need to have this method icon. Okay, so the way we added for this first, I'll just copy this and I paste. Okay, now the way I said over here, we used one on a third page. Let's consider that is search bin. That was the URL passed. So if I'm gonna use for district, then in that case I need to have some another page instead of search bin. So let's consider, I'll say some another page. It might be search district or search taluk or whatever it may be. But what's going to change in that? Only one SQL query you're going to change it. The rest is going to remain same. So in that case, what we'll do, instead of doing this in through a single line, directly what we're saying, we are starting with top and finishing at the end. We will divide this program in terms of functions. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll pass some key, something like this. For example, if I'm going with this state, I will use some variable. Let's consider I'm using one variable as k. K here I'm saying st, and that I will pass in the form of a key. Key is k. Oh. And similarly, I'll use here variable k, which in the form of dt, saying for district. Okay, and here I will again say my second id. No, I require two things. One is state name, and second I require another one, that is dt name. So I declare this variable again, or else I will declare some this as global variables, variable st name, variable dt name. So I need not to say that my this st name is local in this. Now it's a global variable. So I'm using two IDs, ID1 the state name, ID2 dt name, and then I will say my key is k. I missed semicolon over here. Now why I'm doing this, reason over here, I will put all these things in one particular function. So let's consider function is I will not write public, it's accepted. Function named is find dist or district, whatever the logic you can have it, and we'll put this complete over there. Alright. Secondly, what I will do, I will take this variable k. Now let me say, instead of saying k, I've used k over here. So I'll cut this k, and this k is now local, and this is out of the scope. Now over here, k is nothing but whatever we are passing through the key k itself. Okay, just a minute, it's look a little confusing, but look, we are passing key value over here. Then we'll go like this. If k is equal to st. Look from state, if it is st, then we'll call upon methods. We call upon the function find district. Else if $k equal to dt, then we'll have another function. Let's consider name of that function is get taluka. I use the same query. No, query could be a little bit changed. First $k is the state name, and let's consider L. This will be the list of, or it will be nothing but my second ID. That's nothing but name of district. And my query will change as select district taluka from pin codes where state equal this one and district equal to $k2, not K2, I have L. Okay, so K and L. Okay, and last what will change over here? Here instead of saying district, I will say here as taluka. Here also taluka. Hope so. Name of my fields are proper. So let me cross check over here. And name of my field is taluka. No, it's taluk. LUK. Okay. And corresponding the query. But now one more thing, we have to make the change in this JavaScript. You are gonna to display this select. Now ID will be nothing but taluka, and let's consider name also with taluka. On change, I need another method. It's my taluka. ठीक है, देखते हैं इसको. Sorry for this. So let me refresh the page. One thing I think is remaining. What's that now? Okay. Find district. Similarly, this will be get taluka. Okay, and let me check the script over here. And think getting missed out. st name, d name, search bin. Okay, now here I need to change this part. I need to display this in second list. So what we'll do, I've given the ID as tal. Okay, so let's consider here tal. We need to cross check first when it comes to function handling using PHP. Sometimes a little bit I think the repair source not so. Let me inspect it. K is not declared. Why I haven't declared K? Oh, variable K is not declared, so let's consider where K. And why I'm using dollar over there? It's just a script, not a PHP file. It should be simply K and not dollar. Happens when we are reading two different languages at the same time. Okay, no error right now. Hope so it works. And yes, it does. Okay, and now it's saying my taluka uncaught exception. Yeah, definitely we haven't written we have not declared that method for taluka. So let's check whether these things are getting changed. From Chittoor, let me consider I go for this Purappa, and yes, it's getting changed. So let me remove this alert statement. And refresh this page. So look, initially we are having only one drop down list. When I am selecting the first time, then this drop down list is getting created. Okay, and whenever we are changing any component or selecting this for the first time, then this taluka was getting displayed. Let me refresh this page. I'm selecting this for the first time, so your district, this second drop down list, it got created and filled. Okay, I'm changing this, so it's getting changed, but your third drop down list is not getting visible, because this will get visible. Instead of saying visible, let me use the keyword created. It will add it to the page only when we select particular item from this. Okay, this is what our query is. If you look into the code, when I'm going for select my list, at that time when you're going for this method, okay, here you are getting or that when your method get taluka is being called, at that time your third drop down list is getting created. Okay, so now you are having all drop down list, so it's working. Now here is the error because we need to declare that method my taluka. That's a different question, we'll do it. But one thing happening over here, if we select a particular state, let's consider Andhra Pradesh. Here this part is getting filtered out, accepted, but so this taluk is not getting changed. So what we will do, if we change the district, not district, if we change the state, then this third drop down list will nullify it. For nullifying purpose, what we'll do, we'll use some logic, something like this. We'll set one variable. Let me go to that variable. Let's consider as 10. Initially we'll set that value to be 0. By default the value will be 0 only. How we'll do this? That value will be changed to 1. Okay, on district we'll set that value to be 1. Let's consider that value is temp, we'll set to 1. Okay, and if we are changing state, then we'll check if the value of temp equal to 1, then only you let's say if that value is 1, then we'll set the length of that component to be 0. कौन सा component है? That is tal component, taluka. So we'll say document dot get element by id. Name of that id is not tal. What's the name of that component? What we added is taluka. Okay, taluka dot options dot length length equal to 0. Okay. Let's see if it works. It should work because we are setting the length of that field to be 0. It's come like that. Now let me see if I am going for another state, Andhra Pradesh. Yes, it's empty, it's working. So if it happens that you want to remove the contents of that particular component, especially if it's a select button or a drop down list, you set that length equal to 0. So now if I'm going for Kerala, so I need to select a particular distance. So after that I can go for that. Now I'm going for Maharashtra. Look, taluka is getting cleared out. So if I select a particular district over there, then it's getting populated. Okay, now coming to your last final part. Final part of your this is, once we select all these three, then a list of offices and pin codes should be visible. Now for that purpose, what we'll do, we'll have one table, another table. Let's consider our coding goes like, just a minute, my stylus is not working. Yeah, it was not connected. So let me consider this was my table 1, and let's consider this as my this will come under my table 2. Alright, so let's start with this. We need to add that so we'll use a div tag, but we'll use that after the table. Alright, so div, I don't need the name of the class, but let's consider id is details. Okay, so in this details, what should happen? A table should be visible, and that table will be nothing but this part where it is this table, list of offices and pin codes, and that will be visible only we select a particular taluka. That means we need to add this method my taluka, which we have missed. We added that in search bin. On change, call the function my taluka. Okay, so let's add that function over here. Function my taluka. Okay, we won't write the code complete, but I will just copy paste this part. Okay, so let's consider I'm using the keyword tal name, and this will nothing but it will be my taluka. Okay, I hope I'm writing in the same way. Taluka, yes. It's case sensitive, so I was just checking for this. ID taluka, name taluka, and return same over here. Now along the query I will pass 3 parameters: tal name, but I need to declare that variable tal name, so let me consider I declare here only. Okay, and I need to change the key now. Key, let's consider tal. Okay, it's just a variable name. So coming over here, let me rearrange this first properly. Okay, similarly, yeah, again else if, come into the question, else if $k equal to, now what's that, we have written tal, that's the value you are passing. So let's cross check. If $k equal to tal, then we will call upon the method this table. Now let's consider this office or this details. Let's consider function name as this details. So let's add that function named this. Oh wait, mistake. Function name this details. All right, I will copy the contents, not all, but now as we are going to create a table, it will be a little bit difficult now. We don't require the select, no, so we'll copy only till result, because thereafter we need to declare the table. Okay. Now we are having three IDs, L, K, L, and let's consider M. M is my third ID. Okay, where state, district, and taluk equal to $M. I hope it's taluk and T written in caps. Yes. Let's save this. That's the thing. Then I will declare one table. So echo table, then to that table we require rows and columns, and okay, just kidding, let's close this. Table. Okay, we'll put that in. Okay, we want header also, no? So we can consider echo tr t head. Oh, okay. Table header as office, another table header as pin code, and let's close this. Similarly, let's close tr. So we have just added the header part. Now we'll fetch the record in array, row by row. So $rows equal to MySQL underscore fetch array. To this will pass the result, and then we'll add that row by row. So echo, let's consider tr, that is the table row, then table head, and what you want to display over here, first the office name. Oh, okay, we remove this. We will say select not distinct taluk now, but we need to select office and pin code. Office comma pin code. Office O capital, pin code P capital. office O capital, okay, pin code P capital. Alright, so where I was, okay, here display name of your field. The field name is office. Okay, oh, then close this. This column is done. Now coming to your second column, and to this column you are going to add pin code. Let's see if it's working. Rows, pin code, and you close it. You close column and then row as well, and then you close this statement. Hope so it works. It took quite a long time. Hope not any errors for this. Difficult to track there again. Alright, so let's select the state. Okay, let me refresh the page from here. Andhra Pradesh. Oh no, there is an error, it's not working. There is an error. Echo, I haven't given semicolon. It's very difficult to track errors. It's coming now, the second one. Function is this showing anything else? Search pin. Okay, just a second. Okay, there should be double equal. Check this function properly, because this is where basically the error will be. I missed one semicolon over here that I added. Again, okay, let's see. That was mistake. So let's consider now Chittur, and hope so table comes. Yes. Oh, why so? Let me cross check. Might be destination we haven't changed. We require that this thing over here, details, and oh yeah, here you need to change. Let's refresh. Okay, here we go, we got it. Okay, one more thing. If I'm changing a particular taluka, this is getting changed, but if I change the district, or if I change the state, table is remaining there only. So we need to remove this table. So what we will do, we will remove the contents of div only, because we are providing that in div section. Yeah, so we'll remove this contents by setting its inner HTML equal to 0, where we can do that in JavaScript. Where it is, where it is, where it is. Okay, we can do this area. If temp equal to 1, then what we'll do, we'll set this part as 0 as well. How will go, we need to element access that element by ID only. So document dot get element by ID, and ID is details. Yeah, details dot, because it's a div component, we need to use inner HTML. Inner HTML equal to null. Okay, refresh it. Kela anakulam. Okay, so now I'm going for, yes, it does work. Okay, but if I change the district, it's not, so I need to use some another variable. Okay, that logic you can work upon. You can take any logic. Meaning I have taken one variable temp. Let me say another variable temp2. By default value is going to be 0 only, and that I will put statement over here. If temp2 equal to 1, then let me copy paste this code in the HTML part. I think it should work with this simple logic. No need to use some hard lines or more than that. And temp2, I will say temp2 equal to 1 here also. Let me save this, and then let's refresh. Okay, very good, working. But now if I change, oh, there's only one state, so I can't change it. Let me go for another state. Let me go for Maharashtra Thane. Yes, Ravali. Okay, it's working. There are only single state maybe. Now let me change this, and let me change district as Pune. Yes, it's getting visible. Okay, finally is the designing part. What are the makeup you want to do it, it's as per you. What I will do for this, I will just put all these things in one particular form, and let's work it out if it's possible. So let me go with the form. Where's my form? Okay, I need to go with the code. Okay, so in the body I will put the form straight away, and everything will be I don't think when I require form, chalo form le lete. I don't need any action or something like that. Even if you remove this action method class, accept it, because we are not posting anything. We are not going to submit this form anywhere. And I copy this complete part and I paste it inside the form. Okay, now I will come to its what do we say, the CSS part. Instead of creating separate file, I will do that here only. But we need to put that inside the head. Alright, so style. Okay, let's start with this. Then the form. Let's consider I keep width as 80%. I think that would more than sufficient. Width 80%, and let's consider margin auto so that it will be at the center, and padding is not required. Even if you don't write it, is accepted. So let me save all. I'll refresh this. Yes, looking good. But now for the table, so what we can do, table, we can have one something like this. So take it, take the table. Let's consider we have some background color, so that will look good. Now to take the background color, it's better we go use HTML color core picker or something like that. It should be the very first. Okay, here we go. I copy this and let me add it over here. I do not know how it will look, but let's see. And we use the complete width of the form. Do we require the border? Yes, we do require the border, but for that purpose we need to look into tr and td. Here we'll say we'll put some padding, so there is some space. 10 pixels are more than sufficient. And let's consider border is of 1 pixel solid. So let's check with this and a refresh. Yes, looking good. Only thing is we are having double lines for this border. We can do, okay, collapse it. Table the border collapse. Border collapse. There is no collapse. Oh, it's possible. होना चाहिए. Yeah, let's collapse. Alright, and we are using two colors, two tables. If we are using two tables, then why to do this thing? Let's have some different colors for two different tables. So let's provide them with some IDs. So let's consider this is my table 1, and let's consider ID is tbl1. So I put this ID into the table. Let me say hash tbl1. So it goes only for the first table. Let's refresh. Now it's proper. That's like that. Okay, then it's up to you how you're gonna to design it. What I will do, I'll just put this little bit towards left. So I will give width here only. Here is select state. Okay. Style width here only. Let me say 30%. More than sufficient. Yeah, it's working. So these are nothing but your dynamic drop down buttons. Instead of saying buttons, let me say dynamic drop down list. So if any queries, you can just post over here. I will post the link of this this API, which is that JDK jQuery 3.1 in the comment sections or in the chat. Okay. Anyways, if I have any doubt, you can just put me in the comment, and do like and subscribe. Thank you.